Good morning.
Okay, Tov, Rabbi Prague.
Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, everybody.
Take the Chumash, okay? This week we read the double parasha, Parashat Tazria, Parashat Metzorah. Let's look in general on the Pesukim, and then let's go to the Rambam. Look at Parashat Tazria.
How's Rosh Chodesh fall to this, Rabbi?
Thursday, Friday, and Shabbat.
Shabbos.
I'm at the reading. Do we get three sitters? We get two.
No.
Two Sifrei Torah, why three? Two Sifrei Torah.
Look a second on page 608. It's Parashat Tazria, Perek Yud Gimel. At the bottom. So basically, Metzorah is either skin disease or a disease in the hair, garments, or homes. Let's see the process without going to the details how to identify. We're going to see in the Rambam who identifies and how, but look at the Psukim first. At the bottom of 608, וידבר השם אל משה ואל אהרון לאמור אדם כי יהיה בעור בשרו שאת או שלפחת. So the first type of tzaraat is in the skin. You do notice, Adam, לא כתוב איש, לא כתוב אישה. מה זה אדם? Tulari, where is another place where the Torah refers to human beings as Adam?
Adam ki akriv. We just had it in the beginning.
In the beginning of Sefer Vayikra. Over there, Rashi told us the reason the Torah is using the phrase Adam, the Korban should be like Adam Arishon, clean from Gaza. Here, Adam means regardless if it's a man or woman, a child, or a slave of a Jewish man, a male or female. So Adam, any type, adult, a minor, regardless if he's, so to say, a normal guy or not, even a slave of a, okay? So ki yeh be'or b'saro, right? So let's look. Behuva el Aaron HaKohen, לא אל אחד מבניו הכהנים. At that point, he's not Tameh yet, because no one declared that he is Tameh.
Rabbi Prague, why the use of the word v'huva? I mean, he is brought to? How is he brought? Why isn't it vayavo el Aaron HaKohen?
No, in a minute you will see. In the minute, no, he's asking, Uva seems that someone is bringing him to the Kohen. So let me show you a second why this is written like this. In a second. Look a second, keep your finger on this page 610. Please go to 620. 620, the beginning of the second parasha of this week. The beginning of the second parasha is the way the Metzorah is purifying himself. So look carefully now.
So go to 620 now?
Yeah, page 620. Look a second on top. זאת תהיה תורת המצורע ביום טהרתו, והובא אל הכהן, here, ויצא הכהן אל מחוץ למחנה. You realize? Over there, he is already outside of the Jewish camp. He has to be alone. So the Kohen has to go to him. Nevertheless, you have the same.
Too. He says he shall be brought to the Kohen. Then it says the Kohen shall go. Are they meeting somewhere outside the camp?
Let's say he's a mile away from the border of the city. So he would meet the Kohen as the Kohen leaves the city. The Kohen doesn't have to go to him. But the main idea here is V'yatza Kohen Michutz HaMachaneh. But remember, again and again, the Torah is talking about the Kohen.
But here he's
also,
but what?
Why here he's already declared in Mitzvah.
Declared that he was there a week, a month, as long as he was there, yes.
But why? That I was referring to is when the person first
suspects he might be a Mitzvah, does he have to leave the camp, or does the Kohen come to him,
Right.
or what's?
Gila is asking, is he leaving the camp right away? The answer is no.
No.
Only if the Kohen declares that he is Tameh.
Right. So
Only
the process-
after he was declared, then he has to leave his
So then he may
family.
be going to the Kohen, or the Kohen coming to him to see what
I mean,
the
it goes-
declaration
it
should
goes
be.
two ways.
No, but his question was, what is the language Beruva? למה לא
Beruva.
כתוב ויבוא?
No, I understand. So Huva, so me seems to say.
Rabbi Prague.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
It's not
don't you have to
contagious.
get
It's not
them out?
contagious. It's not contagious.
He is 100% right, it's not contagious. The proof is that, let's say a Pesach Shavuot, Sukkot, yes? When you have tens of thousands of people in Jerusalem, if it's contagious, you should right away move him out. And the Gemara said, let him be there for the week of the holiday. After the holiday, we'll look at it. If a groom, the week of his wedding, suspects, we tell him, don't go to the Kohen. Are you crazy? When the wife, you have a new family, the answer is, it's not contagious.
So why is he going out of the city?
Because he's on the highest level of Tumah. He's Tameh to a point. This is an important point. We'll talk about, we'll see in a minute in the Rambam.
Rabbi Prague.
Go with him.
His wife is not allowed to be neither the children. He's supposed to be alone in seclusion. Alone in seclusion, which means if you have 24, each one has 24 rooms, and they cannot see each other. The whole idea is to isolate the guy and give you time to think
Of what he did.
which type of a jerk you are. I mean, this is
Okay,
basically
fine.
it. I mean, but this is it. This is
It's not
it.
alone because of contamination, it's being
No,
excluded.
Joseph's point was a
Being
good point.
excluded.
If you look at it as a,
No, so he just.
Rabbi Prague.
yes,
So we learned last week in the Parsha that it makes a difference when it says Vaydaber Hashem El Moshe El Aaron. You need, why at the beginning of the Parsha Tazria, and they're discussing this, it's Moshe and Aaron, and over here it's only Moshe. And could you adjust the camera, please?
both places in Chumash, Hashem is talking to Moshe. Moshe comes down and he assembles his brother, then his children, then he's giving it over. In last week's parasha, this was a special parasha, the inauguration of the Mishkan, which Aaron was an essential part of the. But almost every time it says that it speaks to both, Rashi or the commentators will have a comment on it.
So if
But
it is
normally
a
it's only
The camera. Could you also fix the camera? It's
yeah, of course.
please.
if it is a tumah,
Yes, go ahead. Perfect.
doubtful period, he's gonna pass the tumah to a kohen, and he's not gonna be able to eat terumah.
Joseph is asking, he might pass. So when he stands by the Kohen, they are not under the same roof. The Metzorah is Tameh so strong as if a met.
The other kohen
Listen
also,
carefully.
Yeah.
Chas v'shalom, there is a met in the room, all the Kohanim have to leave, right? So is a Metzorah. They're not allowed to stand with him under a tree because the tree is. He has to be in isolation. When he meets the Kohen, they meet face to face. He's not allowed to touch him.
other kohanim in the city, when he transact with people, if he is doubtful, what
Oh,
he
but
can-
only
It's not Matzorah
Listen,
yet. It's
the
not
point-
Matzorah till it's
Right,
declared
before-
Matzorah.
before he is declared, the Torah is 100% pure. I mean, how can you say that the Chatar do the seven? You know, we see in the Rambam everything.
Is there something to do with when the Kohen states it? That's when it kicks in.
Correct.
Rabbi, is there a certain time of the day the Kohen sees him? Morning,
Everything
night,
is going to be answered in
I'm
the
sorry.
Rambam in a minute. Every detail that you didn't think yet, you will come up with will be in the Rambam as always. But it's a very good question.
Rabbi, just
The
what-
Kohen is not allowed to see him when the sun is shining very strong. The Kohen is not allowed to do it at dusk. The Kohen has to do it either the 4th or 5th hour of the day in the morning or late in the afternoon, because otherwise the colors of the sun,
It changes.
Rabbi, were you counting the 4th hour or 5th from the sunrise or dawn?
whatever you do by Tefillah, by Chametz, by anything, by Kippur, the Jewish calendar is consistent always. No,
It's a detailed question. Not more than that.
Rabbi, I'm just trying to understand the practicality of how all this works. Maybe we're just so off today, but I would imagine today that if this was still intact, at least 50% of the Jewish people would be outside the camp with Sarah.
Yeah, but this is the point.
Are we just so far
Okay,
gone?
no, he's asking because if Tzarad is a punishment for Lashon Hara and this is the reason why it stopped, because people became so sick. And the Rishonim are saying, because people are so sick. The Gemara says that Sotah, right? Sotah is a woman that, the Gemara says that when too many women became not faithful,
became more of a big item.
Hashem says, if you are on a high level, I would like to point out to A, B, C. But if it's too much,
We make it.
so remember, the Kohen is essential. We're going to see in a minute. Okay, now look a second. Look a second now in 6:10. 6:10. This is Perek Yud Gimel on the bottom. Nega tzarat ki tiye ba'adam, and many suspect him. So remember, we're still talking about the skin disease. Be'uva el HaKohen, listen carefully. הכהן, הנה שעית לבנה באור, והיא הפכה שיער לבן. There are physical signs. The color of the hair changed, the way the skin looks. Okay, I mean, even today, you go to a skin doctor there. Okay, now look a second at Pasuk Yud. The reason I'm taking this psukim is to show you in the Rambam in a minute. ואם פרוח תפרח הצרעת באור, if the צרעת spreads to the skin, וכיסתה הצרעת את כל אור הנגע, מראשו ועד רגליו לכל מראה עיני הכהן. Yes. מה זה לכל מראה? You read the translation of the end of the pasuk.
Wherever the eyes of the Kohen can see.
Right. So the Gemara learns out from it. If the Kohen cannot see well, is not eligible to decide, and also the Kohen is not obligated to look in certain areas. Yes, let's say leprosy is in the place that normally it's under his arm. The Kohen would not tell him raise his arm. The whole mareh means I'm looking on him theoretically naked. What I see, the man is naked. I don't see anything. The Gemara says between his feet. Mar'eh Einei HaKohen is teaching us halacha that normally only areas of your body that can be seen to the regular naked eye without going into details. Yes.
So quote unquote, this woman, Rabbi, a woman could get sarat. A woman can't get it.
A woman and a man are the
Good.
same.
So now we have a
Miriam got it.
dressed appropriately. So what's the rabbi going to look at? Only from the what is this part over here?
The wrist.
No, wrist. Okay, there's wrist here,
Okay, we're done.
and we're going to do this, Rabbi. That's all he's going to see because she's dressed appropriate. And the top of her foot. What is the rabbi going to see? Mehila.
Me and my wife have a friend who's sincerely religious, not a phony. He's a doctor. He accepts very religious woman. And me and you wish ourselves to be as religious as he is. What does he do as a doctor?
I mean,
Yeah.
He says to me, I went to medical school. And by me, a woman, I mean,
Just,
I remember
just
the only person
specimen.
said, right, this is exactly what he said. Obviously, I mean, we have a student, he's a dentist in a very affluent part in Brooklyn. He says to me, in the summer, people come in bikinis, more or less. Yeah? He said the nurse knows that when a woman comes, they have to cover you with the barber. Yes. Why? The doctor says
It's apron on.
for sure.
like a barber. Yes?
Yeah.
I'm looking on your mouth. I want to look in other parts of your body. You like to show it to others, not to me. Nobody knows.
Wow.
You feel bad for the ladies because basically they say we are nobody, we are nothing but a tasty piece of meat.
So when you go to the barber, he gives you a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. This is but this is exactly what it is. Now look a second on 6:14.
So in that case, a woman does further
The
than
answer
the
is, no,
exposed
this is
part.
what it is. If she tells him I have this part of the body, all her body would be uncovered except this particular area.
So otherwise she'd be undetected. That we would
No,
have
but remember, but she's coming
She's
to
supposed to be
him.
coming from
Where
the-
did you see a suspected skin disease?
The husband told her.
This
She has to expose it to
no,
the
she
Kohen.
comes. She has a robe and
She's coming voluntarily.
now look a second now in 614. Another type.
Rabbi, before we got to the body, I'm sorry, I have to just slow down for a second. Before we got to her body, his body, we went through the house and the garments and we went through stages, correct? We just didn't, we didn't elevate.
Remember,
it.
we're talking now about this the body.
But did it go in progression? It did not. Did a person have to go this?
Second.
So we got there.
Look a second in Pasuk 29:30. Ve'ish or Isha, here is openly Pasuk 29, page 614. It's Perek Yud Gimel Pasuk Chavtei Vav. Ve'ish
I have
or
it.
Isha ki yeh bo nega barosh or bazakan. Now you have a new type of a disease. It appears in the beard or in the hair. Totally different and nothing to do with the. If the color of the hair turns from black or white to yellowish type, fine.
Rabbi, this is this, does it have, has stage 1 to go to stage 2, or could be start at stage 2?
That's the question.
This
Yeah,
is
does
what
it
the
have-
Kohen.
does it start with
This
the skin and then
is
move
what
to
the
the hair?
Kohen. This is
Or
what
can
the
they start
Kohen.
at the hair straight away?
It's two separate.
Two separate things. Each one's distinct.
Yeah, but that's on the skin.
Now look
It's
now.
stage 2 instead of stage
Look
1.
now in 616, and I'll explain what Mel was asking before. Look at 616, Perek Yud Gimel, Pasuk 47. והבגד כי יהיה בו נגע צרת. Now we're talking about the garment. בבגד צמר או בבגד פשטים. See, why is the Torah telling me which type of a garment? You see, this is, by the way, you learn from me many halachot. The Torah refers to a garment either from linen or wool. This is why many Rishonim say that, for instance, in our Torah, only if you have a four-corner garment made from wool or linen, this is the only garment you have to put tzitzit. I'm wearing today from cotton. According to this Rishonim, you're not chayav, because beged in the Torah is tzemer or pishtim. This is why there is a halachic question. If you wear a polyester type of four-corner, maybe it's not even a garment in the language of the Gemara, okay? So this is a second type. So the first is skin, hair, beard, garment. Okay, the Torah tells us what to do with the garment. The garment at the end, if it's declared, right? You have to burn the garment, okay?
After saying that, why is he saying on the raft or on the roof? Garment, if it has it, what's the difference if it's here or here?
Because in many other halachot, depends on which. Sometimes you can see on one type of chutim. Look now in the next we have a double parasha. Now in 624, it's Perek Yud Daled La'ari Pasuk Psukim Lamed Gimel. Perek Yud Daled. Ki tavoru al Eretz Canaan, asher ani noten lachem la'achuza, yes? ונתתי נגע צרת בבית ארץ אחוזתכם. So this is the third type. This is already on a structure, a house, a room, a wall. The Kohen has to examine it. And if
So this means there's no tzarat outside of Eretz Yisrael?
exactly, this is what you learn. Yes. See, it says here, ki tavoru al haaretz. Now the reason, so, but you realize this was Mel questions before. We started from skin, head, hair, garment, bite, yes, a house. And the Torah tells us what to do, yes, how to purify the house, how to find.
Can the buyer have it without the person having
Oh,
it, or is
so-
it a progression?
Right, so this was his question before. So the Gemara says that first Hashem starts with the garments.
No.
Because if it's going to be declared
So,
Tzarat, the punishment is on a minor item. If not, it's on the house. Remember, in the house, we're not destroying the house, we're destroying the wall, the few bricks, or if the man doesn't get the message and he's still the way Jack was still involved in serious lashon hara, then he goes to the body. Remember, the body means that you are separated from society for weeks or months. It could be much less. Yes?
So why the Torah doesn't follow this schedules?
Okay, well, it's a good question. He's asking how come the Torah starts with the skin, the hair. Yeah, this
Maybe
is
it can
what
go
God-
straight, because maybe it can go straight to the skin and not to the bed. Maybe it's so severe right away, you don't have the beged and you don't have the house, it goes straight to the person.
Right. But you realize,
It's like a warning shot.
like Joseph, you realize the Torah here refers, is teaching us a message that today, as he mentioned before, we're so, if something happens in the house, right, so we're saying, okay, the roof caves, there's a leak. We take it, this is part of, it's not so. It's not so. Anything that happens in the house, to our body, to our garment, there is a reason why it's there. We're not up to this level. So let's go now to Rambam Sefer Tahara Ilchot Tumat Zarat. Rambam Sefer Tahara. Now remember, the level of contamination that the man or the garment has, is that if you're under the same roof, you become Tameh-like, almost like Tameh man. Rambam Sefer Tahara. Everyone has it. Ilchot Tumat Zarat. You can say it where it is. After Tumat Med, Rambam has, after Ilchot Tumat Zarat, Perek Tshi, Perek Tet. But what you're good, almost there, almost there. If you know the Rambam, after the Rambam brings Tumat Med, Para Aduma, then he brings Tarat right away. It's Perek Tet.
Yeah, right after.
Perek Tet. If you have the new Rambam, it's in page Kufchet.
So there's a different reason the Torah commit. Besides the isolation, all that, it's
The
because
Tumah,
the Tumah itself commit. I never
Exactly.
want the other reasons.
Now, says the Rambam, you have it Perek Tet. Akol mit tamim. Everyone becomes tameh from one of those skin disease or afilu katan ben yomo. Even a kid is one day old. Veha avadim, slaves. Avalo akum velo ger toshav. A Gentile does not. Later, probably tomorrow, the question is going to be the haftarah of this parasha is in this general from Aram.
Oh, yeah.
Was Sarah, the Rambam says is not
How did you
becoming
get that?
Tameh. How did you get it? Then we'll come to what Joseph mentioned, that there is a skin disease called leprosy. Even today, you have it's very contagious today. But this is not what the Torah is talking about.
He had this
Naaman,
type of-
had the physical.
Physical, this is spiritual.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
והכל, now listen to this, והכל כשרים, לא גר תושב means a Gentile who keeps the Sheva mitzvot bnei Noach, especially Avodah Zarah, is not, even though he has permission to live in Israel, והכל, now listen to this, הכל כשרים לראות את הנגעים. What does it mean? Everyone is legally eligible to look and make a decision.
Meaning the Kohen, every Kohen.
So Jack says maybe Kohen. Of course, it's not so serious. No, otherwise, the Rambam would not say.
But he said it.
Wait a second here. The Kol HaNegaim, listen to this, Adam רואה חוץ מנהיגי עצמו. You hear this? Whatever if the Kohen has a skin disease,
Can't be
he has to
judged.
go to another Kohen. He has to go to an expert. But in Talmudic language, this is a very big message. We always see what he has. No one says
Nobody puts it up.
No, but this is how
The Kohen
this is
can't
the
examine
Kohen.
himself.
No. כל הנגעים אדם רואה soon probably tomorrow, going to see that Aaron has a problem with Miriam because he is a relative. Can he make a decision or not? This is why
Well, is that tomorrow
Aaron
or
is
later?
begging Moshe to do it. We'll see tomorrow why.
So what are basically when the general, from
No.
whatever I forgot his name,
Naaman.
he did not have Sa'arat, he had some disease.
He had a disease.
Nothing to do with this.
Correct.
This is a spiritual disease.
Correct.
He had a physical disease.
And we are going to look in another chapter in Tanakh. It says, "Ve'arba'a nashim," 4 people,
So right, in Peta, right.
children, Yotzarat, and they stay together.
Yeah,
The halakha is you have to be separated.
All 4 had it.
And
Also,
not only
Rabbi,
they had it, and it says that they were together.
Also,
You
Rabbi, how
cannot
do
be,
you
you have to be in
understand-
isolation.
Katan ben Yomo, he can't even speak.
Right.
The question is, how do you get it?
So how does he
Yeah.
get? How does he get?
He's asking now, why is he getting it? Good. A minute.
But when did this stop? Stop. No Sa'arat.
This is a good question. Historically, I don't know. I assume,
First Bet HaMikdash,
I
second
assume
Bet
as
HaMikdash.
Jack said, when
Whenever
people
I
started to
talk
talk
to
Lashon
No,
Hara,
I'm asking.
social media became popular.
Instagram.
Look at
Years
halakha.
ago, we lived in a much more polite world than we live in now.
Yeah,
Just look
yeah.
20, 30 years later. Look at the rhetoric today. Nobody would dare say things that are being said
See
today.
the respect,
No, it's open.
truth have to the elders, and we respect we have to others.
Who would
Everyone
who would
open.
think a media would pound and degrade the president every day on every
But they
page?
do it to anyone.
Every page. No, New York Times. Every day, every page.
When did the president degrade everybody else?
I don't.
No, the
I have a
name-
problem.
No, the name
Yeah.
of the Russian official newspaper used to be Pravda.
Pravda, yeah.
Pravda means the truth.
Oh.
It's everything but the truth.
Yeah.
You ever see the New York Times?
Well,
Everything
the
that
print.
feeds to print,
Yeah.
when the editor decides, you should read. Yeah? Everything.
Yes.
this is
Rabbi
how
Haramadi,
it
Alama Shalom, used to say that all the time in class.
is.
All the news that's not fit to print is in
Yeah.
it.
My wife says to me, why do you read the New York Times? Very simple.
Yeah,
Whatever they write, it's the opposite. It's the opposite.
That-
Whatever
let's
they write,
continue.
it's
What
the
about she testified? She told her truth. What is it?
Oh,
Her
her
truth.
truth.
Her truth. His truth. What's the truth?
Then let's go to הלכה ב'.
He just attacked the Pope.
אף על פי שהכל כשרים, Jack, only scholars are really the ones that can identify, but they cannot declare that you are contaminated. Here's the key. אף על פי שהכל כשרים לראות, you have to be a real scholar and to know הלכה very well to be able to identify, but הטומאה והטהרה תלויה בכהן.
Yes.
The one to decide
Declare.
yes or no, כיצד? Here, listen to this. כהן שאינו יודע לראות. The Kohen says, I'm a Kohen for sure, but I didn't learn. It's a very complicated topic.
Yeah.
Exactly. החכם רואה. He calls a real chacham, not an elected rabbi by a
Oh,
board
wow.
that elected him because of his oratory skills. A
Specialist.
real specialist, ואומר לו, he tells the כהן, say, טמא, והכהן אומר, טמא, or he tells him, אמור, טהור, say,
Who's
טהור,
telling him, Rabbi? Who was telling
A
him?
regular.
A regular Kohen,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
expert.
yeah,
No, it could be it's like it is.
No, it could be Islam.
It's not
That's what the
clear.
rabbi said.
the Rambam openly says, it could be
That's what the Rambam
anyone
said,
that
anybody.
knows the halachot
Oh, I
well,
thought it was a Kohen.
and he tells the Kohen, who knows how to read from left to right, say tahor, it's tahor, say tameh, tameh.
So you come in, Rabbi, and you identify this.
Is giro, has giro, we have to lock him up for a week to re-examine, says the scholar,
Oh.
to the Kohen to tell the man,
Let's see how it goes.
והוא מסגירו, שנאמר, where does the Gemara take it? That Jewish scholars, not Kohanim. So the Rambam brings a pasuk,
Al-Pihem.
שנאמר ועל פיהם, where is it written? Open your Chumash, please.
I'm an Aretz Kohen. I only have one. He's an Amaretz. I got it.
There's
And I got
nothing-
the
there's
scholar
nothing-
rabbi
there's
that
nothing.
comes. He does it all. Do this, and he's a vehicle. The Kohen's a vehicle.
Correct.
That's all he is.
No, but the vehicle is without him, nothing happens.
Like the Hazan Amar, Hazan Sheva, the Kohanim repeats it.
Yeah.
Good. Look at page 1042 in Chumash Lari. Sefer Dvarim,
Of Aleph Hey.
פרק כ'. It's really mind-boggling what the Torah decided to tell us this. 1042. A Jewish man who was found murdered. We don't know who killed him. So first we measure to the closest community. Then look at the pasuk.
10:42. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Look at pasuk Hey. וניגשו הכהנים. Now remember, after we measure, yes, and after we decapitate the calf in a specific place, then the Kohanim, Bnei Levi, Kibam Bachar Hashem Elokecha L'sharto. Hashem chose the Kohanim to serve in Beit HaMikdash, Ulevarech B'Shem Hashem. They are giving us a blessing till today, every day. ועל פיהם יהיה כל ריב וכל נגע. What does it mean? על פיהם, they are members of every Sanhedrin. מה זה בכל נגע? ועל פיהם, מה עם מגלי? Look at the English translation, Larry. Oh, the Torah is giving you what makes a Kohen, why were the Kohanim selected to be here? So again, Benigshu HaKohanim. Why they? Because they are very special. By what? Kibam Bachar Hashem Elokecha L'sharto. They were chosen to serve in Beit HaMikdash. Ulevarech B'Shem Hashem. And to give Birkat Kohanim. Ve'al PM, they make decisions. Yeh Kol Riv. What is Kol Riv? They are members of the Sanhedrin, and the Rambam says in Hilchot Sanhedrin that you must have Kohanim members. The Kol Nega, Maze B'Kol Nega. What is the English translation? Rani at the end of Pasuk Hey?
Shall be every grievance and every plague.
Every plague. Where is how is a Kohen connected to plague? Here says the Rambam. Here is the Pasuk. The Kohen. Okay, the Kohen is the one to decide. Contaminated, tameh or tahor. This is the pasuk the Rambam brings. Okay, the obvious question is, but this is not now. This is in the summer. Why is the Torah giving me here the credentials of Kohanim? When you do a Kohanim,
Bnei Levi, right?
Not only Bnei Levi, to tell me that they are chosen to serve.
Too many words.
Berachot, all the commentators on the spot here in Shoftim. This is the pasuk of the Rambam. Go to the Rambam. Go back to the Rambam.
Does anybody argue with Rambam?
No,
or
that's a Gemara.
It's from Gemara.
It's a Mishnah.
Okay.
It's a Mishnah Masechet Negayim.
He's basically quoting. He's quoting.
And most of the stuff he does.
I know. I just want to.
Look a second. Yes, look a second in the Rambam. Again, if the Kohen doesn't really know in details the halachot, the Chacham looks on the fellow, tells the Kohen, say Tameh, say Tahor. Shene'emar, the Rambam brings the pasuk, ve'al pi'em, here the pasuk we just saw, Parashat Shoftim, ve'al pi'em, based on the decision of the Yeh Kol Riv
the
or
expert
Kol
plan, basically.
Now look how far the Rambam goes. Ve'afilu, Haya Kohen Katan, he's 6 years old.
Yeah.
Or Shoteh,
6 years old?
he's
In case he's young.
not a normal child.
And
So you're allowed me to use a katan now?
Again, the Kohen doesn't have any power, but his mouth has.
I got it, but he's a katan, Rabbi.
Achacham Omer lo, he has to learn to repeat. Kendi, he knows how to say, tell him, say tahor. Or Achacham Omer lo, hu machlit, he decides, you're definitely tameh, or poter, you are not tameh, or soger, we have to lock you for a day.
the Kohen that utters the words, is he just a mouthpiece or it's from his knowledge? In the case where he's not an
There's no knowledge.
expert.
Again, the knowledge, he knows only how to read Hebrew from left to right.
Hey,
This is a
Rabbi,
example
I
of
have
knowledge.
the rabbi. You said I have rabbi. Rabbi, do we have another
Yes,
case
yes,
where we
yes.
allow a katan to do anything?
There isn't.
Another case.
Oh, no, there isn't.
There isn't.
במה דברים
We don't use a
אמורים?
katan for anything.
במה דברים אמורים כשהיה הכהן סומך על דברי החכם? What I just told you, that the Chacham tells the Kohen and the Kohen repeats, אבל אם היה הכהן רואה, but if the Kohen says, I'm a scholar,
Yeah.
וסומך על עצמו, and he is the one,
wow.
Fake scholar.
please listen good.
No, not yet.
אסור לו לראות נגע בכל נגעים, he's not permitted to make this decision עד שיורנו רבו, until he had a master to really teach him by taking this, yes, this not, yes, ויהיה בקיא בכל הנגעים. And his expertise is such that he saw all types of נגעים as we went through the Chumash, ובשמותיהם and the names, בניגי אדם כולם, ובניגי בגדים, ובניגי בתים. You realize...
So technically, me and Chacham Ovadia are standing together. And I have a little bit of knowledge, and I can read Hebrew a little bit.
This is not, no, this is...
What happens?
Even if you studied in Kohen 18 years, 18 hours a day, you cannot say anything as a Kohen unless you're the master
PhD.
guiding you. And he took you. I mean, do you realize what is a professor in medical? What is a professor? What's the difference between a medical
So Chacham Ovadia still does it all, and I just say what he does.
No, unless
You might have studied under an
You got an
expert.
issue that you got
If you
a
go-
gadol in front of
if
you.
you go to hospitals, how come this doctor is?
You get the
Because
best
he had the
doctor.
mentors and he studied it and he saw hundreds of patients.
Right.
And this is exactly the same. It's a copy of that. It's exactly what he's saying. The Rambam is saying you cannot be an expert only for skin disease.
Uh-huh.
If you are an expert, you have to be an expert on any type of disease and a mentor that taught it to you, and you have experience by seeing it. After you goes to Alav Shalom, one of the big poskim in New York, he was a neighbor of Rabbi Feinstein, told us once, and a woman came with a question, is it blood or not blood? He says, it was a little dark in the house, so he went outside to see clear.
Yeah.
He looks on it, and he says, I saw this type many times, but that looks to me strange. He couldn't understand. He said, then he realized, he stood near a rail on top of the steps, and the sun was shining very
Getting
strong.
reflection of
Bouncing off the rail.
Exactly. So the
Wow.
minute he moved, it looked different. This is an
Unbelievable.
expert.
Unbelievable.
Rabbi, it happens in our business every day.
Really?
When you look at the light.
Raw materials.
We get the fabric from the factory, and a lot of times we have two different parts, or a top and a pant and a short to be like a set.
Yeah.
And then the designers come to me, it says the third time the factories can't get the two factories to match. I said, so let me see it. So let me see. I go, it's perfect.
Hear what he
She
says?
says, no,
Now
go
you
to
hear
the
what he
window.
says?
Go to the window.
Wow.
I go to the
This is
window.
exactly everything.
One is light blue, one is dark blue.
Wow.
But on the fluorescent light,
Yes.
it's both the same.
Yes.
It happens all day
No,
long.
but this
You have that on leather
everything
too?
is
I mean, on
look,
vinyl run?
Yeah, and any dialogue, anyway.
Any dialogue.
It happens every day.
look
Now they have
now.
machines. They
Look.
make us
Oh,
buy
right, right.
machines.
Yeah.
So look at the
Wow.
fabric
Wow.
inside the
Wait, this way it's correct.
It's a cloudy day.
Unbelievable. You need that.
Cloudy day.
It's a
Good.
game changer.
Look now. Look in halacha. Look in halacha vav.
sunlight. No
Look in
customer
vav.
walks in the
Wow.
store with a machine.
Look in vav. אין רואים את הנגעים אלא ביום. You cannot, whoever identifies can see it only during the day. בין להסגיר, בין להחליט, בין לפתור. להסגיר means to lap in for another week. להחליט right away. שהרי בכל העניין הוא אומר ביום וביום. We didn't go through the parasha, but Shabbat, when you listen to it, it says always ביום, ביום, ביום. Now listen. ואין רואים לא בשחרית, not early in the morning, ולא בין הארבעים, not later in the afternoon, ולא בתוך הבית, you cannot look on him in the house, ולא ביום המעונן, not on the cloudy day, לפי שכהה נראית עזה. It might be a darker shade, but because of the cloud. ולא בצהריים, not in the midday, לפי שעזה נראית כהה. means the sun is shining so strong. So when should the Kohen or the expert look? בשעה רביעית ובחמישית,
4th, 5th hour, you said.
which means the 4th and the 5th hour, ובשמינית, the 8th ובתשיעית. In early in the morning, before midday, an hour before, the sun is not so
So it's 8, 10,
strong.
11 o'clock.
8 or
Today.
9 in the afternoon, בין יגי אדם, בין יגי בגדים ובתים. It's fascinating. Tomorrow we'll continue this.
Rabbi, if a person has a nega, and Kohen declares it tahor, that it's not really a nega, should the person consider it warning like it's close? Hashem is sending him a warning, or just stop,
With
it's fine.
shock. I gotta go.
See what I'm saying? Like, it was,
The color.
I wonder.
It's a good question. Most likely it has to happen if someone's suspected. That's a real disease. If you go to a doctor and Baruch Hashem, it's nothing. So why was he scared? I mean, the fear or the scare, as a matter of fact,
Sometimes the doctor says, back in 6 months, I need to check.
like 6